Dedicated internet for wholesale customers. You come to Tier 1 data center, it's highly reliable, 99.982% of uptime. Your services. Again, the quality of the service is quite good. Highly trained employees who are ready and eager to support you. You can lower your IT cost by coming to Tier 1 by around 15 to 35%. How do you reduce your cost? If you sign up for co-location service, you find that we are now sharing power, we are now sharing a cooling system. And then normally power and cooling is quite expensive. But if you sign up for shared services, then you'll be able to reduce your costs. Again, signing up for OPEX model is better than a CAPEX model because these costs can only be increased whenever you want to scale up. So mostly if you look at disaster recovery services, with those that they're going to deploy on the disaster recovery site. So if you do that, you find that it's quite expensive because sometimes you invest in resources that you don't want to use. How often have you ever migrated and use your disaster recovery site? It's quite rare. You only use your disaster recovery site mostly during tests, maybe within a quarter. But you rarely use disaster recovery service. You only get the resources that you need. A matter of signing up for the services on the cloud, or even bringing your servers in our co-location room. And it's quite fast because connectivity is there. Our data use PowerTel, Africa. You can use them, you can connect, depending on your relationship with them. Then this is our architecture. Currently we've got 3 data centers that are operational. One in Harare, the other one is above. These 3 data centers are configured in such a way that we share the computing resources, the storage, the network, and also other resources that might be required. Then this allows us again to have active with guaranteed redundancy. All these 3 data centers are connected with a fiber ring which can scale up to 400 gigabit per second. Right now we've provisioned 100 gigabit per second. This means that we can run any load. If you sign up for disaster recovery service from your production environment, you won't have any issues with latency and network issues. Because we give you a virtual private network. If you want dedicated fiber, we can give. Some of our customers, they obviously want a dedicated fiber. So customers, normally those that are in the CBD, they prefer to go to a location outside of Harare, either 40 kilometers or 400 kilometers, it depends. But this is a cloud, or you can also get physical resources or physical facilities like co-location or workspace. Then in summary, what services do we have? As presented by Ms. Nyagura, obviously, data centers, academically, they are categorized into 3, or the services are categorized into 3 categories, which is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. But in practical, what is that we have as Tier 1? On the infrastructure as a service, we give you bandwidth. If you come for a data center, whether co-location or cloud, you still need bandwidth, you need connectivity. But you still can sign up from our competitors. Obviously, you also get a share of that. So bandwidth, we provide you bandwidth to connect to your environment. Co-location, you've got 2 types of co-location services. Shared co-location or private co-location. Shared co-location is where within the same room you can bring your racks, say 47U. So you choose. But we also do have shared space rental. Then storage is a service that is available where you can sign up for cloud storage. Instead of using my drive or external hard drives, you can now use. Then virtual machine, I'll go into detail on virtual machine in the slides that are coming. Then what we are working on right now, Internet of Things, data analytics on the cloud. It's no longer theory. As Tier 1, we've already started work on these 2 platforms. So what is that we are going to have? We provide you with a platform. Tier 1 is a service provider. You can sign up resellers for this platform. You can develop on it, you can customize for Internet of Things in Q3. So we know that there is changes happening elsewhere. If you look at in the developed world, they are already having and they have already commissioned Internet of Things platforms. And whenever we travel, we have used these platforms. So when it comes to Zimbabwe, we are lagging behind. Now, as businesses and also service providers, we have invested and we are also investing in these platforms. Obviously, we need to work with the academia. We also need to work with partners. If you are interested, you can partner with us. If you have got any use case scenario, you are free to come and we can discuss in terms of how we can monetize these platforms. Then on data analytics, again, we are working on a platform that will include predictive analysis and also artificial intelligence. Like I said, our unified communication will be empowered with AI capabilities. But for the cloud, we are working on a platform where we should be able to sell data analytics as a service on a cloud. We don't believe that is Zimbabwe. So, we are ready to invest and we are investing. Then we do have disaster recovery as a service and backup as a service. I'll go into detail in this slide, on the slides that are coming. Then on the category of software as a service, here it's open. We can partner with anyone with a solution. A lot of partners and hubs, innovation hubs, so that we can drive digitalization in Zimbabwe as presented by Mr. Nako. Then for the other service that we have is backup and restore services, where we have partnered with the leading service providers, whom if you check in the Gartner report, they've been leaders for the past 5 years. So this allows us with these capabilities to back up any platform, any environment services for you. Then we can't finish a data center and cloud presentation without looking at security. For security training, they are certified security professionals. And if you check from last year, we've been offering courses for security just to conscientize our customers that be ready. Cybersecurity, we are now in an era where you now need to be ready for cyber risks. Are you ensured in terms of your online information? Are you safe in terms of physical security? So we've been running courses to conscientize our customers. Then we also partnering with quite a number of customers. We are partnering with quite a number of service providers, again, just to enhance and improve our security capabilities. But this is what we can offer right now, security as a service. You can sign up for our vulnerability and penetration tests, which we can run depending on your frequency. Then we can also help you to secure your environment, starting from your applications, your databases, your operating systems. We help you to harden. If you have a virtualized environment, be it Microsoft Hyper-V, Oracle, Fusion Sphere, OpenStack, or VMware, we can help you to harden your visualized environment. Again, we are working on a security operations center for the entire country, which means that we'll be able to provide you again monitoring services from our center for the entire country, wherever you are, because we've got presence countrywide, which means that for customers, corporate customers, we should be able to give them reports as far as cyber vulnerabilities is concerned, depending on their requirements. We've invested in anti-DDoS protection tools, which can withstand throughput of about 1 100 terabyte. I think that's the best so far in this country. So we are ready to protect the entire nation from anti-DDoS attacks. Since we are the major providers of internet bandwidth into this country, they only be declaring the same. So these are the services that you can sign up from Tier 1 on security. Then if you come for co-location and cloud services, we can give you a private co-location. We call it a virtual data center, where in that environment you are the only one is dedicated to you. We connect it through a virtual private network. So we won't even have access to that environment. It's dedicated to you. That's how you can also harden your security. If you want to manage the services, we can help you to manage your virtual machines. We can help you to manage even your physical servers, depending on your customer, or depending on the requirement. These are the typical use case scenarios for our services. Virtual machines. I'm sure we all now know what virtual machines are. And as Tier 1, how do we price them? We look at the number of cores that you want, your memory, and storage. Our virtual machines low cost, we are the cheapest in this country, very secure, very flexible. We can scale to any level, and they are highly reliable. Since we launched last year in March, 1 year now, we have never experienced any downtime. Then the other use case, you can deploy your platforms, your development platforms. You can also sign up for web hosting, email hosting, either shared or dedicated. Accounting packages, which is on the software as a service, is coming. Again, call center is available now on our clouds. Enterprise communications is also available on the cloud for hosted PBX and unified communication. Mission critical systems and ERPs. These are the typical use case scenarios. Then this is a typical cloud disaster coverage service, where you have got your primary DC and your secondary DC. And it depends whether you want to implement your disaster recovery at storage level. At storage level, it depends on the hardware that you are using. If you are currently using Oracle or IBM, it means you need the same hardware on your secondary disaster recovery site. Or you can implement it at virtualization level. So currently, Tier 1, we're using Vision Sphere on virtualization technology. Why we chose Vision Sphere is because it's being supported by NASA and other big stakeholders. And in terms of support, it's highly supported. There are no shareholder squabbles like VMware. Today, VMware is being bought by Dell, being bought by this. So support and continuity is a risk if we go for VMware. That's why we chose Vision Sphere. Then in terms of hardware, it's a heterogeneous environment where we use hardware from Oracle, IBM. They can withstand temperatures up to 60 degrees and also up to -15 degrees. Telecom equipment. Whilst for Oracle and Dell and IBM, whenever temperatures go beyond the 12 degrees, they freeze, go into safe mode and do this again. It's not telecom grade equipment. Then the other typical use case scenario for e-education, where using our cloud, you can deploy e-learning platforms. You can partner with Tier 1 and you can sell the solutions together. Other use case scenarios is e-health. This normally requires artificial intelligence. If it becomes a national project, you find that we need to record information for all the citizens in this country, from birth up to death. At any given time, we should be able to have their health records. And then we'll be able to have APIs that allows whoever wants access to that information to access. Doctors can access that information, and then we charge. So So this is a use case scenario where deep learning can be used, but it requires national policy. I'm sure Dr. Apanyembi, when he briefed me, he said there is also need for us to influence national policy in terms of how we can use these technologies. But this can be implemented using Tier 1 cloud because the equipment is available and we can scale any level. In the event that we want to buy, and within 2 weeks we can deploy for e-enterprise. This includes your desktop sharing, hosting of mails on the cloud, as I have explained before, and you can outsource some of the work to Tier 1. Desktop as a service, I'm sure we all know. This long way back around 2005, 2007, we're using thin clients and then Microsoft Terminal Services, but specifically for the front line office. But now using cloud now, you find that you're no longer buying powerful services. You cannot deploy a solution targeting obviously the tertiary education because obviously they can't pay. But if anyone from the industry will come with a requirement that we need, like the meteorological services, they want to process weather information, they require HPC. Those become our coverage. Obviously, yes, usage can still come when they are handling research for their customers. They need powerful computers. Then what is our value proposition? Digitalization is coming and it's real. If you don't innovate, you'll be innovated. And this is from research by IDC, report 2017, where 14% of companies are resisting digitalization. The 2% resisting digitalization. This is the time to self-introspect. As Tier 1, we are a player. We are working towards going the digital disruption. We hope that we should be able to disrupt certain industries. They disrupted the financial sector. It's presented by Mr. Nyako. So successful organizations should be disruptors, because this is where you can come up with new business models. This is where you can take lead and be able to transform the entire sector. There are certain sectors in this country which are lagging behind. Maybe you might be here, you need to be ready, because next year things might change for the worse. Then again, digital enterprises powered by Tier 1. Coming to Tier 1 cloud, it's a very secure cloud, you can collaborate, and it can allow your business to be agile. And then you have good access to ubiquitous broadband services. So high secure, high efficient, very convenient. If you look at our locations, 40 kilometers away from Mazoe, 400 kilometers away from Harare, for those that are 400 kilometers away. And within the next year, again, we might go to certain locations where we think there's need for data center, depending on the market conditions there. This is how our data centers have impacted the economy. We managed to reduce demand for Forex, because signing up for Tier 1, you no longer need to buy servers. We managed to shorten time to market for some of our customers. We've got a customer who managed to launch their services within a short period. I think within 2 months, a product that would have taken them 6 months, but they managed to launch this product within 2 months. If we improve on the number of apps that are being developed, and we avail our cloud services to the software developers, we now use the term DevOps, where you should be able to develop within the shortest possible time our services. As you have seen, our architecture with 3 data centers, it means we share the computing resources. We don't have any constraints. I will tell you of a customer who thought we didn't have capacity to host about 100 virtual machines. They were surprised. They could not use up our resources. Reliability and redundancy, highly reliable, looking at our power and cooling and connectivity and the equipment that we have deployed. So I would say, coming to Tier 1, the future is here. The future is
I was just thinking that maybe we made a mistake, no? Just inviting people from telecoms, because they keep the data, but we didn't call the people who have lots of data, who your clients. Because moving forward, we would want to say, you guys, maybe government, whoever who has lots of data, are able to analyze your data.
Are we going to get the presentation which you put at Joiner City?
Yes.
I'm wondering, is that a once-off thing, or are you starting to do things like that?
We're actually starting to do things like that. In fact, you'll find that because Dande and Tande is not as well endowed as my colleagues who get their debts written off or liquid more
what can we do to make sure that the HPC, now HPC is moving into a second phase, yet in my humble opinion, we could have maximally utilized it in the first phase. At least we didn't maximally utilize it. We utilized it, but not maximally. What is going to be the difference which can actually make us be able to utilize that resource? It's not
facility was available to us. We were aware of the fact that, you know, the UZ, as an example, now had an HPC. It will certainly welcome go out and buy additional to augment whatever we had, so that we can jointly monetize some of these data sets. I think it also goes back to where we are as an industry.
I think just to add in terms of not using it, I think it was initial when it started, there were certain restrictions. Say we expect so and so cables in here, and I think it's an opportunity that we can develop further and work together.
Okay. I would say it's said the issue is more monetization and commercialization. What are the terms of engagement? Because it's industry.
Yet it's because we haven't put in, but fortunately, which is not the end, where we are afraid of you for whatever reasons. But I think that passed after people realize that this is an asset which cannot be owned by a specific sector, but which is actually a national asset.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Maybe it's not information correctly at some point.
Yes, sir.
My question would be direct. We have seen these analytics then going that side in terms of ethics and mostly utilization of the analytics towards proper development rather than using it for manipulative purposes. So I would have wished to hear the Ministry of ICT or Potras with regards to policy.
We are expecting someone from Potras in the Africa. They seem to actually be making these analytics if they don't are freely and fair. But I mean, there's things to Potras. If
this just an end, I'll meet you somewhere and I remember you by name. That would be very important. But I think, isn't it? Yes. And you shouldn't wait. Analyze your data and the charge.
In the industry, what will it take for realize that academia is a pool of scientific knowledge from extensive research, whereas they are talking about having data which is lying idle, but we are not having data to use for researches. So what will it take for us to work together, because we do have some of these resources also lying idle in academia. So at what point are we going to actually forge a synergy?
This to to start working together. I think platforms like this, when we say let's network, you should be talking to Dad. All right? Make a connection so that after next week they will actually be calling you, isn't it? Or even Dan should be trying to connect with me. Use it. How can we work together? So that, you know, most developed countries, it's research which does that. And in my office, I was telling my friend Initial Mulamba there that when I come to the university, I come very early, 7 a.m. I'm in my office. Because of too much work, 8 p.m. I'm going home. Sometimes they skip me. So my imagination and the type of research I do when I'm closed in my job, sometimes very limited or not so useful currently between us. So I think we should talk. So let's make this.
Because we're the first group, and then there's the group below physically. During the round table, I think not put them in jars, but crystallize them and then utilize them. All these various synergies. I think let's go for lunch so that we'll actually start a bit of time.